It's All Gravy with Teresa. Hey y'all, this is Teresa, and you're in Teresa's Kitchen here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and you are watching It's All Gravy with Teresa. And today we are doing a holiday favorite, or just a fall time favorite, pumpkin pie. Very easy recipe. We're going to use canned pumpkin and carnation milk, and very easy and simple to put together. And I wanted to mention, first of all, thank you, Teresa, for my, whatever you call this. You're cutting this is for pastries, and I think maybe it's called a pastry maker. I really don't know, but thank you very much. This will save my poor arthritic hands. And we're not using, we're not making a pastry crust today. I bought pre-made, and we're living intentional. And at this time of the year, I feel like intentional means being able to spend more time with your family. So this is just a quick, easy recipe. I do want to try later on to make a pie crust when I have time. And I also want to try using real pumpkin. And I looked up today, just so you guys will know, pumpkins are just not for decoration. And years ago, even my grandmother, now my mother, when she got all the canned stuff, that was the way to go. But my grandmother did use real pumpkins, and it's pretty simple. I looked up, you just take your pumpkin, you cut it in half, you put it on a baking sheet with parchment paper, scoop out all your seeds, and turn it over. So you want the skin side up. And then you bake it in the oven for about 45 minutes. And after you bake it and cool it, then all of the meat, the insides of it, will just come straight out. And you're going to put that in a food processor or a blender and blend that just to get the strings out of it. So that's something also that I want to try to do during this holiday season. I didn't have time to do it. We haven't bought our pumpkins yet, and I'm still kind of getting over being sick. I'm really bad about getting way too sick before I get to the doctor, and it always takes me a little bit longer to get back on track. So maybe one day I will learn my lesson, but I didn't this time. So we're going to go ahead and put this pie together. I pre-cooked my crust, and we'll have a picture to show you. You poke the holes in your crust, and you go ahead and bake it about halfway, and that keeps your pie from being soggy. I don't know if you've ever been somewhere and you scooped out your pie and the bottom of the crust wasn't crunchy at all. It was just soggy. So this kind of helps that not to happen. And you do that on 350. You pre-cook your crust just halfway on 350, and it takes about maybe 5 to 7 minutes. And then you go ahead and put your oven on 425 to finish preheating, and we've already done that. So we're going to put our dry ingredients first, which is 3/4 a cup of just plain white sugar right here. And then we are going to put, and this is another one of those times where we're using what we have in our kitchen instead of going out and buying stuff we don't have. So in this one, I had found this on sale last year, pumpkin pie spice, and it has everything in it. So we put 3/4 of a teaspoon of the pumpkin pie spice, and then we put 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and put that in there. So we've got that. And then we have got 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and we're going to add that in. And that's all of our dry ingredients. Now we're going to add our pumpkin. And I just got, this was on sale. This happens to be Libby's, but it was on sale this week. Any kind of pumpkin is good. I would say a pure pumpkin is the best to get. And these are usually already pureed, which means you can see that there's no strings in the pumpkin. So it's already been put in the blender or the food processor. So 1 can, which is, I think, 16 ounces. One of these cans. I'll look here in just a second. It's 15 ounces. It says 15 ounces. So we got that. And then our good old carnation milk, evaporated milk. And it can be, it doesn't have to be Carnation brand. Again, it was on sale this week. So that's what we got. But we're putting a whole can of that in here, of the carnation milk. And that is 12 ounces. Then our little chickens, even though it's turned off cool weather, we are still getting plenty of eggs. These are from this week, and their production has slowed down. But we're still getting probably 1.5 a week, which supplies us. My cousin Scott and his wife Tamitha have not benefited so much from our eggs since this happened. But we're still getting plenty for our family. So I've got 2 eggs, and I'm just going to slightly beat those up and add them right in here. I mean, can you believe how easy this is? And we go out and buy these things and give $14 a piece for them. Which is okay. I've done that. And there's nothing wrong with that if you don't have time. It's worth somebody else doing it when you don't have time. But for us who are staying home these days, this is going to be something very easy for you to get ready for the holidays. You can actually, these you can put in the freezer for up to a month. You finish baking it, you're going to put it in the 425 oven for 15 minutes. And then you're going to reduce the heat to 350. And then you're going to check it at 30 minutes. And then if it's not quite done, you let it go a little bit more. It says 30 to 40 minutes. And how you check that is just a toothpick in the center of the pie, the deepest part of the pie. And if it comes out clean, your pie's done. But to freeze these, you just make sure they are completely cool. You wrap them in plastic wrap first, and I would put a couple of layers of plastic wrap really good, and then a good aluminum foil, and wrap that up really good so nothing could get in there. And then when you get ready for Thanksgiving or whatever holiday meal you're going to have, you just pull it out of the freezer the day before and let it thaw in the refrigerator. And that's another thing we can check off our list that's ready for our meal. So that, I didn't get the mixer out. I just did this with a whisk. A whisk, Mr. Man, whoever's watching. A whisk. And mix that up really good. And it is thin like this. See how thin it is? So I always put my pie shell in the tin, the metal tin, on a baking sheet. And this is going to be thin, and the eggs and the milk is what's going to make it firm up and gel. So let's pour this in. It's also, this is a deep dish pie shell. And we want to pour it just all the way to the top. And this one I'm going to have a little bit left over here. But that's okay too. You want it just as full as you can get it. See there? And then, if my shaky hands will let me, We're going to set this in the oven for 15 minutes. Oh my goodness. No, that wasn't all great. It's okay. Sorry.
It's okay.
15 minutes. So we're going to put cooking time, 15, and set. So we'll do that for 15 minutes, and then we will put it on 350, reduce the heat to 350, and we're going to let it cook for another 30 to 40 minutes. Put a toothpick in it. If it's done in the middle, it's done. And you take it out, put it on a wire rack, and let it cool for at least 2 hours. And then you can serve it immediately, or you can wrap it up in plastic wrap and then aluminum foil, and it will keep up to a month in the freezer. So we will be back in just a little bit and see the finished product. I hope everybody is enjoying this beautiful fall day. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And we thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in just a few. Thanks. Okay guys, it has been, we did 15 minutes at 425, and then we reduced our heat to 350, and we've cooked this one for 30 minutes. So you need to check after 30 minutes, and that's going to be good for us. You put the toothpick right in the center of the pie, and if it comes out clean, you're good. So our pie is done. We can go ahead and turn our oven off. Let me get my wire rack. I'm sorry, Clinton. It wouldn't be right if I had everything where it's supposed to be. And remember, we're going to set this out and let it cool for a full 2 hours. A full 2 hours. That's beautiful. And like we said earlier, you can let this cool and then serve it tonight, which I'm sure Mike and I are going out for dinner, so I'm sure his mom and Madeline and Joe will tear this up with some whipped cream after a while. Or you can freeze it for the holidays. It's not too early to do that. You can wrap it in plastic. I put at least 2 rounds of plastic on it, and then put aluminum foil very tight so nothing can get in. And when you take it out of the freezer, you put it in the refrigerator and let it thaw for at least a day. And that's it, guys. Thank you all for watching. It's All Gravy with Teresa. Please like, share, follow, tell your friends, Facebook.
We're at 1,800.
We're to 1,800 on Facebook. We get to 2,000. We're going to give away another t-shirt. It's All Gravy t-shirt. On YouTube, we're still struggling there, and I understand because it's a hard deal to take the time to put your email address in and remember your password and all that stuff. But if you can do that, we truly appreciate it. Patreon, that site is still up if you want to go have a look at that and see if you're interested in helping out in that way. And I think that's it for today. Telling you all I love you very much. Please, please, please go vote. Here in Bowling Green, we're set up at SkyPack. Clint went the other day and was in and out very easily. They clean the machines right afterwards. I plan on going Tuesday when the kids are in school to go vote. So please exercise your right to vote. We do have a voice in this country, and it needs to be heard. So thank you. And that's it. I want to thank you all for watching us. I pray that you have a blessed week, and we're going to talk to you again real soon. Thank you, and God bless.